Mamma Jammas. Look.
Mamma Jammas?
Mamma Jammas.
That's our opening list. Okay.
Listen, you Mamma Jammas. We got through it. We got through it. Nothing about that game did we enjoy except for the dog. We like the dog. We like the dog.
Look, I'm not going to go through this entire thing and be all negative all the time. There are some aspects that I
would
Let's
like
talk
to
about
discuss.
The good. Maybe not in a positive light, but at least, maybe it's interesting. All right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's start with positive because that'll be a short segment. I liked specifically 3 things.
Yeah.
1, I liked how, at least at the very beginning of the game, it was very much like getting lost in the woods. It was
very much so.
We're played the game for 10 minutes and you had already walked in a circle and you're like, no, I haven't walked in a circle. I'm like, I recognize that fucking tree. We've walked in a circle.
It's like, yeah, we did it. We had walked in a circle.
You walked in a circle.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Which that happens. I think I had mentioned something about hearing stories about hikers going off to piss in the woods and they're like 10 feet off the trail and then they can't find their way back to the trail. It happens.
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of reality. So I did enjoy that. Second thing I liked, I felt like the time itself didn't exactly it wasn't a straight line at all,
right.
And that was something that had only ever been hinted at in the movies, and I thought that they did do a pretty decent job of exploring that, whether it was like the truck that you find and it's like run down and then you find it again and it's in good shape,
pristine.
You find it again and you find out you were the person that was talking into the microphone about turning on the lights. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That was pretty cool. And
the last thing that I have to say that I enjoyed was the dog. Like,
I loved the dog.
Bullet was a good boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was way more well-behaved than my dog is, but my dog just wants to crush you with love. It's fine.
Exactly.
This dog just wants to, run around in the woods.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But those were the 3 positives that I had to say. There is another one, and I don't know if this one's a positive, but it's something that I was struggling with at the end of episode, I think it was 2, and we had discussed at the beginning of episode 3, where it was kind of exploring the idea of PTSD and wartime flashbacks. I don't know if it was done in the most respectful way, but I do think that this is one of the reasons why video games are important, and it's because, to me, video games are... One of the reasons video games are awesome is because it allows you to literally walk in the footsteps of another person.
Yeah.
And through that, you can learn to empathize. I don't know if it was well done. I don't know if it was respectfully done, but I can give them props for trying.
Yeah,
I
for
guess.
sure.
I have decided to give them props for trying.
That makes sense.
Anything to add or
no? I mean, that's
those?
pretty much it. Like, honestly, I was going in this with high hopes because I am a huge fan of the lore of the whole Blair Witch thing, right? And I understand it's all bullshit, guys. I get that, but everything based from that movie, from that original found footage movie, everything from that, I've loved it. The storylines and all that stuff. So I was really jazzed about this. I had no idea that it was gonna, I don't know, the controls, man. The controls were fairly clunky. There was a lot of things kind of working against it.
Yeah.
And again, was that by design? If so, kudos. It was more of a pain in the ass than anything.
Yeah. To me, I think I played for all of 100 seconds. That's it.
Sure, yeah.
And that was mostly because somebody was at the door and you were like, here, you play, or you were frustrated.
I was pissed, I think is what it was.
Exactly.
I was like, just you do it because I'm going to throw something.
But from looking at, or from watching you, I felt like the game was probably built for VR.
Yes.
Where you could look around more freely without having to mess around with a goofy analog controller.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it. I don't know. But, man, that kind of leads me into thinking about that last episode where we were walking through the house, and I, just sitting here watching you play through that, hour and a half or whatever, just to finish the house.
It was a lot.
I was getting mad. I was getting uncomfortable. I was just done with that fucking house. It wasn't scary. It wasn't.
I think you said it too. You're like, the house has overstayed its welcome.
Yes, very much so.
Very much has.
I just wanted it to be done and over
Yes.
with, so we could say that we had done it, and we could move on. Maybe it was trying to pack a little too much into that last little tidbit.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of done. Like, all subtlety gone. All elegant storytelling was gone. Everything's in your face here, and it went off the rails in a way that the first movie never really did. To me, I felt like the last part of that game was a lot more like the last part of the third movie.
Yeah. I think, like in the game, they're basically just trying to tie up every possible loose end.
Yep.
And all at once. Everything all at once.
Yep.
And then it was like, okay, you're here, and then it shifts and it changes, and now you're here, and there's this, and you can't go through here any longer, and now you can, and oh my God.
Yeah, it was frustrating to watch. And
it was a lot.
It probably, no offense, but it probably doesn't help that you suck at games.
I'm not that good at games, guys. I'm not that good. We know this.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, like, really, my overall thoughts is, like, if I had to give this on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I would give this a 4. Probably. I would give it a 4.
That seems fair.
I like the woods. I like the exploration. I loved the dog. There is another ending to the game.
There is.
I did go on YouTube and I did watch the alternative ending as to what happens. Mm-hmm. And basically what it is, it's like gigantic spoiler alert or whatever, but if you don't listen to the witch, if you don't pick up the strange little artifacts, as in the wooden, like, doll type things that are kind of carved, that you find on occasion that there really is no meaning to, if you don't pick those up, if you leave them alone, and then if you don't listen to what she has to say, which I will also say would be significantly harder because she's saying things like, don't look at him, right? So when you go into a room, when that bad guy is in there in the house, you had to back into a room.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And things like that, and don't shine a light and blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. So if you go against what she's saying, then beat the game, you get an entirely different ending. And that is basically that gentleman that is... Carver, yeah. Carver ends up basically killing you because he gets frustrated with you, which goes against her orders and blah, blah, blah. He dies. He gets killed by the witch. You're already dead, and so the cycle stops. She has nobody else then as her puppet. The cycle stops. And the coolest thing about it, Bullet comes up to you as you're dying. Bullet lays with you as you die.
So Bullet's alive no matter what. That's
Bullet
the important
is alive.
Thing. That's the important
thing. Every ending, Bullet survives.
I would have burnt down the studio.
They found the They found the kid, like all that stuff. You know, everything kind of gets wrapped up.
They actually found the kid.
They found the kid. He was alive and well. Then they, I believe it was the girl, his girlfriend, his love interest or ex-love interest or whatever she is. She ends up like leading the search to find him because she still loves him. She makes the realization that she loves him still and all this stuff. So she's leading the search to find him. They eventually obviously do find him, blah, blah, blah. But then they also find all of the other people that were murdered along the way. Like the sheriff, for an example, he's buried and all that stuff with, like, you know, full honors and all of that jazz too. But yeah, freaking crazy stuff. I don't know. I don't know. It was a cool, like, other ending. I mean, I would say, yeah, we definitely got the bad ending.
You know what? I don't care. It's done. It's over.
Like, we're never playing it again.
Touching that game.
We're never playing the game again.
Not
ever.
I sometimes consider myself a completionist, where it's like I start a game, I have to do everything, and
yeah,
never doing that.
No,
like,
no, it's a 6-hour game. It's a 6 or 7 hour game. You can easily do this. I don't know.
Like, there are plenty of 6 or 7 hour games that I feel like are worth it.
Exactly. That are replayable, in fact.
Like, you can go back and you can replay Mario in less than 10 minutes.
Now
and
you
it's
can, yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You
like speed run Mario or all that crap, yeah.
And, you know, a whole playthrough can take 10 minutes and it's fun.
Yep.
I'd rather do that for 6 hours straight than play through this game again.
Definitely. It was so bad.
It's not good.
It's not fun.
I'm not even really a Mario fan. It's just...
Like, it's just not fun, guys.
I don't think that games have to be fun. But they at least have to be interesting
entertaining in some way, shape, or form. Right?
I don't even know if they really have
to
be entertaining. They just have to be engaging.
No.
And this one I was just done with. I was over it.
Yeah. It's a shit show.
I feel
we
like...
wasted our time and yours. You're welcome.
Cut everything down by 70%.
Yeah.
Make a tight 2-hour game.
You could do that. You could do that. Yeah, for sure.
But no, this is a premise that doesn't work for longer than the length of a movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's fair. Cool. What do we got next?
We have the evil that is Resident.
We're going right
for a remake
back into Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking excited about this.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm excited about this. That's why I wanted to get this recap out of the fucking way so we could just jump right into that.
Damn straight, man.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you all soon. Peace.